was on going into the third album. It was a song called I Spy that Britt and I wrote with this, I mean, everybody knows who he is now. His name is Rick Beato. He's a famous producer. He's all over the fucking internet and stuff now. He actually wrote, I think, 4 songs with the singer that made it on the first album. And we had really come into our own. It was like a... So it had that rubber band kind of thing, and like we were really gelling into our own thing where it was like gonna be like a whole gospel type thing, you know? When they released all these like demo ideas from the band, from the original band, that's the only song that they left off, you know? And I know it's because of, you know, what it is. It's a hit song, you know? So that's what I would answer for that. Yeah, it's called I Spy. It's never really been about me. I always like am more of a support person. Try to support the other artists that I'm with. After Shinedown, I went and did the thing with Fuel, so I just tried to support him, you know, and do their styles. And so from then on, it's been whatever I've done, I've just kind of supported those guys. So I just kind of immerse myself in whatever they're trying to do. Chameleon style, you know, and just try to vamp into that stuff. I grew up in Lake City, Florida, and we did death metal, which I thought the whole world loved that, but apparently they did not. But to us, it was everything. I did that, I was the front man, and I did that whole thing, but I'm a terrible singer as far as like tone. So my role for the last 20 years has been just to support others. I feel like I'm better suited at that. I did some time out in, when I say I did some time, it makes it sound like I was in prison. Like I was actually in, I was not in prison. I was like in this beautiful place and like, you know, in Banff, you know, which is like Northwest, you know, North America and Canada. Did a lot of stuff out there. I spent some time in New Mexico. So time away is just like, for me, is going around different cultures. Like I've been all over the world, luckily, through this, you know. So I've gotten to see how different, you know, people react and stuff. In the Northwest, they were just like, it's like 11 p.m. and they're like, yeah, look, we're gonna go cross-country skiing. It's like, what? You know, it's like 11 p.m. Like everybody in Jacksonville is like in bed already, you know? And it's like, yeah, we're gonna go on a 2-hour ski fucking trip, you know? And it's like this like, it's like -20, and it's like, but it's like, I don't know. You just get to see like, the world is so vast and so cool. So you got to think this was like 2001, and I'd come from a death metal band, but also built a studio with like, where we had like Susan Tedeschi and all these great, wonderful R&B people around us. But as far as like the Shinedown stuff in 2000, like it was Linkin Park, and it was like not so much that kind of stuff, but it was like music had de-evolved as far as like structure and like ass blasting solos and stuff. Like there was none of that. It was like kind of a dumbed down version of everything. If anything, I think we de-evolved as far as like shredding, like from that fucking Eddie Van Halen type stuff or whatever, you know, and like, or dual harmonies from the 70s, like Skinner and shit, which what we loved, and it became more of a, we said, you know, our producer was like, there's no money past the 5th fret. So it just, what that means is like, it's just dumb everything down, you know, and it got more about writing songs versus like showing off how great you were. We didn't get any solos on the first album. Like I had to fight for them, and finally we got 2 solo, like I call them rides. We got 2 rides on the first album, and it was when we went with Rick Beato in Atlanta, and we had to fight for those. Cause like the record company's like, you can't solo. I'm like, what? I know. I came from Jacksonville and we're just like ass blasting the whole time, you know? Fucking overdoing it. And they were like, no, man, that's not cool right now. You know, the Struts don't do that. So it's not really about you so much, because I love all these great chords, you know, but it's like no one wants to hear that shit, you know? It's like,
there are people out there that want to hear that.
They do, but like they're not gonna.
We want to hear it.
A lot of the songs, you know, well, we had, not a lot of the songs, but we had one song that was in, you know, different time signatures, 5/4, and we had one song that I think is simple, but it would throw the guys off. That was in 3/4. That was just a rip-off of a Beatles song. That I think it was like the second single was called 45. So different things in time signatures throw off rock kids. Like if it's not 4/4, then rock kids are gonna just be like gone, you know. And even the singer, like we'd present him with a riff, and it was like if he couldn't count it, it's like, what do you want me to do with it, you know? So I would say something like that. As far as in a working context, yeah, I would say sometimes, you know, just a simple 4/5 or 3/4 thing would. 1, 2, 3. You know, something like that would throw us off, you know. But I mean, you get it. It's not like changing the world or anything. It's not that fucking crazy. It's not like we're not Meshuggah, you know. I haven't really tried to like play a lot of other people's stuff. I would just catch something. I would think like when I was first learning guitar, maybe that's what you mean. Probably something by Randy Rhoads or something, you know. I would think, you know, over the mountain, something like that, you know. Yeah. I don't know. I'm too old now. I'm not trying to stress out over you know, what I can and can't play, you know? Like, I don't know. I mean, at this point, like, if I can't figure it out, then I probably shouldn't be playing. You know, like, I understand your question, and I would appreciate that if I was, you know, 20, but like now, I could probably figure it out, you know? Yeah. I just need to sit down with it, you know? There's a lot of stuff I wish I would have known, maybe like a lot of jazz stuff. But even inside of that stuff, man, people just like have a way of doing it, you know? And you guys know it, probably like just seeing it. Like the listener knows when somebody's inside of something or, you know, it's just like, it just feels better. It feels different. I don't know. So, I don't know. A lot of those songs probably escaped me. I wish I would have grabbed onto them, but I didn't. I've pretty much played a lot of the stuff that I wanted to play. It would have been... maybe around 6th grade. I don't know how old that would have been. Is that what it was? Lake City, Florida. And it was my mom got me it was called a Telsco Del Rey. And I've actually looked it up online, and now they're like collector's items because like fucking Jack White, you know, he loves those shitty fucking guitars, you know? And it was that guitar, you know, and it had like these weird switches on it and fucking crazy tremolo that just sounded like shit. And I remember playing it at church, and we were just like miming it, you know? Like this song, we like played Kiss song, and we got yelled at, but God, that was awesome. I wish I had that guitar. This is my number one. I actually brought it today for you guys. Yeah, this is number one. This is Brown Sugar. I mean, look at her. You know what I mean? Like, this is me, man. And she's had her neck broke off. My God, it's like horrible. But no, God, no. I would never. No. She fell off a stand, and I don't know why Freddie didn't fix her up properly, but they say you never have a real Les Paul until the neck's broken, but...
It gives her character. Yeah.
I know, but man, this is the best sounding, and she's so heavy. You know, I've changed the knobs, and this is Brown Sugar with an H. I got her in probably when we got the record deal, I would say 2001, maybe? I forget when we actually got the record deal, but yeah, they gave us each like a batch of money, each guy in the band. Yeah, I got her right away, and like that's probably what I've played her through everything since 2001. Yeah, I have quite a few, you know. Some of them have gotten away through the years, but that one, I would say, I would probably not. That one's going to stay with me. Through the years with different bands, like I remember in Nefarian, we were at Jackrabbits. Actually, you know what? It may have been Milk Bar. I think we were opening up for Limp Bizkit. This is a long time. I was in a band called Nefarian. And I used to wear these silly ass pants. They kind of looked like goat pants, you know? They had like, I don't know, they were like a bit furrish on the bottom end. And I used to like spit fire and shit, you know? Like do this whole like parlor trick where you put 151 in your hand but it like got on my pants, and it's like my pants caught on fire. It was like the more I fucking tried to get it off, it was like the more it fucking got up. You know, I was like, oh fuck, the shit's like going everywhere. You know, I was trying to get it to stop, and it got fucking bigger and bigger, and it was just like, man, it was awesome. I mean, I bet it was really fun from the crowd to just like try to swat this fire, and the fire just came back bigger.
Did you do any more fire tricks after that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they were singed off, so that bit didn't catch on fire anymore, you know? Yeah. This shit will draw you in and make you do wild shit, you know? And it was like, I would have never thought that we would have done anything with this stuff. You know, like, I never thought about making it, quote unquote, or any of that stuff. Like, I came from Lake City, Florida. Like, they told us that we could maybe make a living in Jacksonville. So I left the day I turned 18. I could get out of my parents' house, and like, we came over here, and it's like, I don't know, I've spoken at DA and stuff, the School of the Arts, and like, a lot of the old guys will tell me, like, don't tell them that you just meant to be and stuff. But it's like, I still remember doing that interview with them 20 years ago, and I said that, and I still think it today. Like, I just think, like, some of us, if you just think something, that's just what it is, and it's not gonna be any other way. That's just what it's been. And like, for us, for me, this is just what it's been. So here we are at Crisscross Applesauce, and it's like, but that's what it is, man. Like, I am a firm believer in, like, what you think, that's what it is, man. Like, I don't see how it can be any other way. Yeah. That's what I always say. I do not see how it can be any other way, because this is what it is. And it's been this for me. It's been that, man. That's all I've ever thought about since the 5th grade. And like, I knew that I was going to do music live. I knew it. And it was like, everyone says not to say that, but I'm like, I don't understand why. Like, I guarantee you there's some kid in some small town that needs to hear that. Like, I had an awful fucking childhood. I had all that shit. Like all the fucking, you know, same shit that you always hear from people from my generation, from the 90s, you know? And it's like, but that's what it was. And here we are, and it works. So, you know, you just play your fucking instrument, be that sad kid in your fucking, you know? My ex-wife, they owned a venue at the beach, Freebird Live, Freebird Cafe, whatever. And I can remember playing there for a couple years. And, you know, prior to her, I had played all over town. You know, Jackrabbits, fucking, you know, Tim Hall's place, all over town. And just, you know, it's usually just your girlfriends and your friends, right? So there's like 6 people in the audience, your whole life. And I can always remember showing up to the Freebird, and it's like, yeah, there's 6 cars there, so you know what it is, you know. And then Shinedown, all of a sudden, like, we show up one night, we drove up, and just, to me, it's just another gig, and it's like the whole parking lot's filled up. It's like, dude, it's like, what? You know? And it was like, from then on, for me, it was like, that's all I give a shit about. I don't care about anything else, you know? I don't care about any of that other stuff. You know, you come to find out you do care about all that stuff, but, you know, the business part and stuff, but, man, you know, just to see that parking lot filled up. Yeah, after that band, I did stuff with Zakk Wylde and everything, and we went to Belarus, Russia, did Moscow, all over, like, sketchy Eastern Europe. That's where you want to play. Like, I've always read about it, but I didn't realize it until I went over there. And, man, like, Turkey, Istanbul and stuff, like, people, like, they fucking love music so much. They're like me, you know, and it's like, I need to be around that kind of stuff. Like, fucking the same in South America, you know? Brazil and stuff. Like, people fucking, they are out there. And they're like me, and they fucking love it. All the way. You know, I'm all the way. I'm all in. And they are fucking all in. And that shit gets me off, man. Like, it's insane, man. It's not like here, man. I don't know. It's really hard to explain. Even the festivals here are really good. Danny Wimmer does a great job. But man, you get overseas, man, and they're where it's like fucking Iron Maiden is religion, you know? Like, you go to fucking South America and it's fucking religion, you know? And not even fucking rock and hard music or whatever, you know, any style of music, you know? I love music. I love to play it live, and that's where I think I've said this, 20 years ago with Folio. It's the same thing, man. That's just what this is all about, is playing it live, connecting, trying to get that transfer. I would definitely have to say, in a live perspective, speaking for shows, it would be Maylene and the Sons of Disaster. Dallas Taylor, the singer from that band, and just the band in general with Brad and John and Steve. It's just something to see, and everybody that's a fan of that band will understand, Like, I remember the first show I played with them was with He Is Legend in Atlanta, and we played downstairs in hell at the Masquerade, and it was fucking sold out, and the walls were sweating, and it was just like, it was there could be 3 people in there, or there could be 3,000, but those 3 kids or the 3,000 are singing every word. And they are like hanging on to every word. This guy is like a messiah, which is what you look for, what I look for in a singer, a front man. I could never do that. I could never have that control. At least I didn't think, because who could think you have that? But these guys have this thing where they're just like, man, they draw you in, 2 totally different guys, but it's amazing. Maylene and the Sons of Disaster, without a doubt. It's heavy, it's drop D, it's all in the same tuning. Well, like I said, just having that feedback from the crowd, and they're great songs, they were written by, great fucking people, and the songs are great, and just seeing the reaction of the crowd and seeing how into it they are. The fans are all in, they love it as much as we do, and that's hard to find, in rock music. It's like there's a lot of fucking people that are just, oh well, they didn't play the single, so I'm just gonna hang out, and like sit down. Not this band. This band, they're like, want to hear every fucking song, and they're all in, and that's rare to see. I think I started in 2014, and we're still doing it.
Oh.
Yeah, he got in a vicious wreck, ATV wreck, almost killed him. But we just did a kind of like started getting back out there like maybe a year or 2 ago. It was a little funky, going out there, because he's pretty messed up, but the fans love it, and that's kind of, what it is. I mean, I love it watching them, how much, I just love that whole fucking Jim Jones fucking front man fucking, and I love seeing how much people love a singer, I love watching.